What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk again about the TTG HST that is available exclusively at DylanTalksTone. Now, a few weeks ago, we released this guitar. This is basically a collaboration between myself and Matt and Chris at TTG in Colorado. And what this is a American-made small batch guitar. So we actually order these and they build them to order. It's pretty cool. This one is available. You could buy this right now. I'll ship it tomorrow. But and it is pretty reasonably priced. It's an incredible instrument. And when we released it, we had a bunch of comments come in and questions and etc. So I figured what I would do is go through some of the specs again, and as we do that, answer some of the common questions that came in. But I think first, this is a really neat guitar. Yeah, this thing's just super fun. It's a super fun guitar. So what is it? I have a huge fascination with the double cut body shape. I like Les Paul Juniors, and I have a couple. I have a custom shop one, and I have a custom one built by Silton Guitars, and then I have an SG Junior. I just really like this kind of double cut thing. I like the small waist of it. I like how balanced it is when you play it. They can be unbalanced, but this one is not. We'll get to that in a minute. So I really like that. And Matt had a real fascination with the Hamer. And so instead of just doing a Gibson copy, it was like, you know what, let's look at the Hamer body shape and go with that instead. So they did that and then offered me the opportunity to spec one the way I wanted it. So what we have is a Honduran mahogany body and neck. And this is a one-piece neck, so there's no scarf joint. And it also has a maple cap on it. And the body has been weight relieved. So this guitar weighs like 6.7 pounds. And it is very balanced. Really nice. It doesn't have that like Les Paul butt heavy thing. It's just very nice. It doesn't neck dive. It doesn't... It's really balanced, and when you hang it on a strap, it's the same way as well. And as you can see, very figured top. We have a African Kingwood fretboard, which is it's kind of a little bit porous like rosewood, but it's hard like ebony. I love black fretboards, and of course, mother of pearl block inlays. We have cryogenically treated nickel frets. One of the big questions that we got about this is, why didn't you do stainless at this price point? These guitars are $2,500. And to be honest with you, the reason is because this was kind of to our spec, what we like, what I like. I don't like stainless frets. I don't think that there is a need for them for most people. People think they need stainless frets, maybe because of Eddie Van Halen, maybe because of whatever. But if you have more than one guitar, you're not really going to wear out frets. The other thing is these cryogenically treated nickel ones, they last very well. They polish very nicely. And to be fair, at $2,500 made in the United States, this guitar would have to probably cost an additional $400 or so if we were going to go with stainless frets. And the reason is because it takes that much longer to do. It's literally hours and hours and hours longer, and tool costs. You have to replace tools much more quickly. You have to buy more tools to do it because stainless frets are more difficult to install than you would think. And I know that a lot of folks will jump straight to a Chinese instrument that might have stainless frets for a very quote-unquote reasonable or cheap price, but not all stainless is created equal. And so to use the stainless frets that you're thinking of and that you expect, it would cost this much more. What you see on those Chinese inexpensive instruments is not the same stainless. It's not all created equal. Think about your cheap butter knife versus a very expensive kitchen knife. It's not all created equal. Same thing. It's just kind of a different analogy, but the same thing. The neck profile, another question we got is, what is the neck profile? It is a modern C neck profile. It is very comfortable. It has a satin finish on the neck, and it is unbelievably nice and fast. There are no fret tangs, so you don't get fret sprout because there's no fret tangs showing underneath here because it's bound with maple. It also has lumen lay side dots, so you charge it up with a flashlight and then you can see it on stage or in the dark. And it's awesome. One of the things I really love about it is the fretboard material shows underneath the binding, so you got this really pretty edge of the fretboard and neck. If you wanted a different neck profile, just reach out to me on the chat on the website and say, you know what, I really want a 59 baseball bat. I really want something a little wider, a little narrower. Within reason, I think we can accommodate you if you pre-order one of these things, and we can build out a spec sheet. We've already done that for a couple of folks. For these guitars, we've already just said, okay, we understand what the normal specs are, but we can work with you. You know, if you need a little wider nut width, you know, if you want a little fatter neck, whatever you wanted, we could probably work with you on that. Within reason, right? Within reason. We don't want to re-engineer the entire guitar, but within reason, I think we can make those adjustments. As a 10-inch radius fretboard, that cannot change. It's a very middle-of-the-road fretboard radius for folks, and I think you will really, really enjoy it. A couple of folks asked about the bridge type. So this is all Hipshot hardware. Hipshot hardware is extremely high-quality hardware. For those of you that don't know, it is incredibly high quality. This is one of the most adjustable and easy-to-live-with bridges that I can think of on any guitar. I've got this on a couple of my guitars, and I really, really like it. Now, I know that there is a world where you may say, that guitar would be so cool if it had a tune-o-matic and a stop bar tailpiece. I think that's something that we could accommodate. Get with me on it. It would incur a little bit of a cost because of the different pieces and parts and how the guitar works. Because when you do that, you actually have to change the neck angle. So we would have to do things a little different. But I have already talked to Matt about this, and we've got this in the process of doing this. So we have to change a couple of things, but it can be done, I think. So we're going to go ahead and make that available. I'm not going to put it as an option on the website, but if you want at this point anyway, but if you want a tune-o-matic and stop bar, just hit me up, and we'll make the necessary adjustments to do that. I know that's kind of a big change, but after we released it, Matt and I had that conversation, and he's like, you know, let me work on that. I think we could do that. All right, let's talk about pickups. So all of these guitars are going to have humbucker routes in them. That is due to the internal construction of the guitar, the way he does everything, the neck joint, because the tenon comes way down here. And it just, the way it works, it's just easier and nicer and prettier and more symmetrical, in my opinion, to put humbuckers, holes in the guitar. So what you will have available to you is any of our humbuckers. So this, what you heard, is our Super 8, which is our DAF with Alnico 8 magnets. So it's very vintage wound but with hotter magnets. But you could get our normal vintage spec PAFs, which is our DAF. You could get our Super 8s. You could get our center punches, which are made to have a push-pull that we would put on the tone knob with the CTS pot. You could get our Thruxtons, which is our Alnico 2 offering. You could get a humbucker-sized P90, which is, we actually just sold one like that. You could get our Velo humbuckers. You could get any of our humbuckers, including our humbucker-sized P90, which gets you really close to a normal P90, or our Enduro single coil, or a combination. So if you wanted, I think one of the guitars we're building right now for somebody has one of our Velo humbuckers and a humbucker-sized P90 in it, for example. Any of our custom colors could be done to match the guitar or to offset the guitar, whatever you wanted. We could do any of our acrylic tops, any of our fancy engraving, any of that kind of stuff can all be done with one of these builds. Speaking of colors, the two colors that we have on the website we felt might be the most popular and kind of what people would enjoy the most, and to be honest with you, they have been so far, and that is the Bourbon Burst this color here that I'm showing you now, and then this is our Black Burst. And these have been the two most popular so far. We haven't actually had anybody ask for a different color. That Bourbon Burst is actually really, really pretty. This is really pretty too. But if you wanted some other burst, for example, or if you wanted a painted top, I don't know why you would. This is beautiful. I don't know why you would, but if you wanted a painted top, if you wanted something else, get in the chat on the website and let me know. I'm not going to say that nothing finish-wise would incur a cost, because there are things that could, above and beyond the cost of the guitar. But I think most basic adjustments, if I wanted a reddish burst, I wanted a greenish burst, we could do probably some of those things for maybe not any cost, but maybe even a small cost bump. So there's a lot of options here that you could have with this guitar that we didn't actually get to talk about it. So I just wanted to share that with you. The other thing that we can do, because we get this question a lot, is since 10% of people are left-handed, including myself, even though I play right-handed, this guitar is available in left-handed. When you go to DylanTalksTone.com and you see any guitar that we have available for sale, the ones that we have as collaborations with TTG, any of those would be available to order in left-hand. We can do it. No problem at all. So if you're looking for a premium instrument and you can't find something like this because you're left-handed, we can accommodate. I think that would be super cool to be able to help you with that. And there you go. Well, anyway, I just wanted to share a few things about this guitar that I think are really cool, that some details that maybe I didn't get to share before or forgot to share. And so here you go. The TTG HST, and this is the DylanTalksTone exclusive model. This feature set and the bound neck and all the various things is only available here at DylanTalksTone. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Like I said, if you have any other questions and you want to make a little adjustment here or there, I think that's something we could help you with. So get in the chat on the website. It'll come straight to my phone and we'll get you helped out. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next video.